Hey, 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 hey. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? It is time. One, two, one, two. Here we go. It's my time to rise. It's my time to shine. It's my time to live. It's my time. We got another one shining today. We got motivational Woody out here. It's her time to shine today. She in the building. She on time. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Yes, it's your time to shine, girl. Yes, yes, yes. Hello, hello, hello. I'm so glad to have you in the building today. How are you doing?
Look, let's share this to everybody you can, any and every person you can.
Well, let's start by first saying good afternoon. My name is Crystal Bodie Smith, and this is the motivational comedian, Marcel Woodland. Some people know her as comedian Miss Woody. Some people know her from that In Homeless Mission logo. Some people know her for very many things, especially on the Facebook world and many worlds out here in social media. So
Yes.
today, we are so excited to have her in the building today to just let everybody know about this movement, about this In Homeless Mission movement happening across the world. It's taking
Yes.
place here in one place, but it's so much more to it. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me to bring to the stage, because this is the stage right here. This is the social Miss Comedian.
I just sitting there to some folks, trying to get some folks to come on in and listen because they have a lot of doubters out there. You got a lot of naysayers out there. And I want them to meet part of my committee.
Okay, so
You know,
back up
they don't even know you're part of the committee.
Okay, back up a little bit for me so they can see you. There you go. Back up just a little bit more. There you go. And that turn your volume down just a little bit. Your volume down just a little bit. So I want you to do this
Okay.
for me, Marcel. I want you to do this for me. I want you
Uh-huh.
to introduce yourself to people who've never seen you before. They've never heard you before. And don't worry about the people that are here now because, you know, we do shares and we send it out. They'll see the replay. Don't worry about that. But I want you to tell the people about who is Marcel Woodland. How did this whole thing come about for you to want to do this for homelessness? Were you once homeless? Tell them a little bit about your background. Introduce yourself, where you
Well,
and how this came about.
okay. Well, I'm from St. Louis, mother of 9 children. I'm a comedian turned promoter, and what forced me into that situation is I'm a forcefully retired postal worker. So I did like 16 years with the Postal Service. I also worked for our transit company. So I worked a lot because I had a large family, right? And I was making really, really good money. And situation happened to me where a supervisor ended up sticking me in the eye with an pen because I was going through a workman's comp situation. So that situation led to a long, outdrawn fight for justice, led to depression, and I actually tried to take my life 4 times fighting that case.
Wow.
And it was a good therapist that told me when he found out that I was a comedian, I was, into comedy and I love comedy. I love making people laugh. And he said, hey, that's your solution. Get back into comedy. And I did. Comedy saved my life. And on my entrepreneur journey, it was still a struggle because I wasn't making that almost $30 an hour. I didn't have that job anymore. So I had to readjust. It didn't take a long time to bounce back, after losing everything. I had to sell my house to survive. And being a person in and out of homelessness because of those situations, it got me to realize that there are a lot of people out here dealing with this for different reasons. I wasn't a person on drugs or alcohol. I'm glad that situation didn't drive me to alcohol or drugs or anything like that. But the depression part is what we really, really need to pay attention to. You know, mental illness, we really, really need to realize that this is
Okay,
an
so
issue.
hold on right there. You're freezing up a little bit. I don't know if you have it on your Wi-Fi. I don't know if you can adjust that a little bit, because you're freezing up a little bit and you're giving me like a little
Okay.
hesitation right now, like you're spinning. We can't see you. So
Yeah, I
back
don't
up a
know.
little bit.
Maybe because maybe because I'm in the basement. Not sure. Can you hear me now? Can you see me?
I can hear you, but you might have to switch location because I can't see you. I can't see you right now. It's fading in and out. So I'm talking while you readjust some things. That's why I came back in and start talking. And if my phone rings, I apologize in advance. My sister's gonna call me to pick her up. But yeah, see if you could switch locations, because it's the connection is messing up right now. It's messing up. I still can't mute yourself.
I can try to.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can
Rearrange it.
move.
Go to a better location in the location where you're at, and see if we can do better. All right, turn the camera down right now. We're looking at, I don't know what I'm looking at to you, but so ladies and gentlemen, right now, if you're just tuning in, we want you to know that this is the End Homeless Mission movement, and we have the founder of this particular movement, and she is telling us about her story and why she started doing this. And we want to let you know about the project itself, and we want to let you know how you can take part in it, how you can actually get in on the movement from any state. All right. She's doing some things with comedians, and we're going to talk to you about that. But you could also get involved in a lot of different capacities. You can join the committee in a lot of different capacities. I met this young lady over on Facebook, and when I met her on Facebook, I kept seeing her post. She kept posting consistently, and this went on for a couple of years. And I said, man, she's not giving up. So I reached out to her, and I said, you know what? I want to meet you. So I flew out to St. Louis, where she was, because I said, I need to see this person. And oh my goodness, everything that she was showing us on Facebook, I saw it for myself firsthand. She took me to the venue. She showed me her signs when she's outside selling her button that she made for me, say it on a button. So I'm telling you right now, this was truly, truly amazing. So that's good. Back up a little bit for me, because I want to be able to see you. Back up a little bit. There you go. So Marcel, so you were working at the post office. You had a situation. You lost that job, making $30 an hour to bring people up to what you said. And then from there, losing that job, having that situation, you were in and out. You had to give up your home. So you recognize that people are actually in transition, or what they call homelessness. And it's not always a bad situation. It's not always drugs. It's not always because they were careless. Sometimes they can't help the situation. I know people who have been homeless because somebody passed away, and they went from one income to one income. So it's different reasons. So tell me then, when did the light bulb go off after everything? Finish your story, because you look clearer. Tell us how you got to the point where you came up with this concept for the End Homeless Mission and that whole concept. But keep going with your story first.
Well, being a comedian and knowing the connections that I have and the well-knowns, we know that influencers bring a crowd. And I just thought of a way of doing fundraising through something that I love, and how we can pay it forward. And when I started watching how people were getting more pissed off about the situation with our Dome Stadium, that the Rams had left high tide out of town, I said, well, don't get mad about the situation. Let's use it to our advantage. So I just thought about something creative that we can use. But let me back up a little bit. I had already thought about using this venue for something. I just didn't know what. And I wanted to get more on the promotional side, because I figured that was a way I could raise more money and actually pay it forward. So it was all about being able to do something with what I love to pay it forward. And doing my homeless.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, because a lot of people are just jumping on, and thank you for coming on it. So you had this situation, and you became in and out of homelessness. So you had an idea. And what was the idea you came up with?
The idea was actually to bring something entertainment based to our community. And me being a Black woman, now a promoter, I knew it was going to be a challenge, right? And then I just started recognizing all of the major events in our city, and there were no major events tied to giving back to the community at a large scale like that. So I just started thinking, okay, we have this big building, so why not use it? So I looked into Guinness World Record attempts. I saw that there was something that I could do that had not been accomplished in the United States, right? So I pursued it down. I pursued it down that rabbit hole, and I'm still going. I'm still going to get to the light at the end of the tunnel. But it's coming together now that more people are getting involved. I started this post on Facebook while I was living in a motel that had got closed down back in 2018. I was living there with some of my children, and I was also a housekeeper there. So I saw a lot of different homeless situations, and many of them was due to, drug or alcohol, but not all of them.
Right.
Listening to the stories, there was a gentleman there who lost his daughter. He was from a corporate job, was making like $150,000 a year, and his depression caused him to lose his house.
Wow.
So he was living at the hotel with 3 of his children. Mm-hmm. And looking at how it was with kids being in these places, I remember how bad it was for my children, but I was determined to get out of that situation and going to get help. For many people who have a certain income, the help is not there, or it's too much red tape to get the help. Or you may have situations where I'm sure some people can relate to this, where they had to go from one organization to the next to get some assistance for utilities.
Right.
You have situations where a person may need legal help, but then you have an organization in your community that's set up for assisting those who can't afford legal help. But then those systems are exhausted, but you still have the people who need and can really use that help, but you can't get it.
So let me ask you this. So first of all, kudos to you for not giving up. You lost your job at the post office. You didn't get discouraged. You were a little down and out, but you didn't get discouraged. You kept going. You came up with this idea. You began to say, I need to come up with a way to make some money. So you then started selling some buttons. And these are examples.
Oh, yeah.
These are the buttons she made for me. This is for my nonprofit. This is me. And she then started selling buttons out on the street. All right. How did the
collecting small donations, basically collecting small donations to get the word out? Like this shirt I have on, it says comedian Miss Woody and trying to break a Guinness World Record at the Dome, to fundraise to combat homelessness. So I had to get the message out. So I started making the buttons, and then eventually I turned it into a business in 2014 because people were starting to hey, can you make some for my fundraiser? Right. Hey, can you make some for my put my cute little grandbaby on a button or a magnet or a keychain? And I started doing that, and a lot of people still don't know to this day. I started making them and sending them out as samples all across the United States. I lost count. I don't know how many people I made. I made them for so many people. There are some people here on the site. In the viewing the interview that I've made some for. And then some of those same people would send me a small donation from time to time, whatever they could. Everything was appreciative because I would have to take those little small donations, buy more supplies, print more information, and most of it was about putting the word out, trying to find one more person that would get behind the End Homeless Mission movement. And the End Homeless Mission movement is about collaboration and partnering for change.
So let me stop you there. So for the people who are just coming in, we're speaking to Marcel Woodland. She's located in St. Louis. I'm just going to reset the room real quick. St. Louis, Missouri. And she is out there, and she has created a homeless mission, and it's a movement. And she come up with
Right.
an idea of an event that she wants to do. She's going to do it in her state, but I'm now going to let her tell you how this event is going to work. I had her to tell you how she got to this point, what her experience was as far as homelessness, and why she decided to get so passionate about this. I actually met this young lady because I went out there because she was so adamant about it. She was passionate. She'd been posting for years, to the point where I flew out there. I had to see her for myself. And that's how I wound up getting on her committee. And that's how we wound up actually really getting to know each other personally. So I know for a fact that this is real, y'all. This is really happening, okay? So if you are anywhere in any state, you can get involved. So now, Marcel, tell people what the concept is. So what is the event called? And don't go go into too much details yet. What is the event called? When do you want to have the event? And talk about what the concept is with the Guinness World Book of Records.
Okay. Well, the event is a comedy festival called the Show Me Funny Comedy Festival, and it includes a Guinness World Record attempt, which is a mass participation event to fill our stadium, our St. Louis Dome Stadium. And the goal is to raise money and give back to the community in 4 different ways. 1, doing raffles with the tickets to give to those who purchase tickets to come to the Guinness event, to assist them with rental mortgage payments starting at $500 a month for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months to a year. Sharing the money raised with those who help organize the event. So that's why it's a really good idea to get on the committee. And you don't have to have a car. You can do some things from home, okay? And then we want to share funds with all those organizations that are willing to collaborate for causes. Basically, we're looking to partner for change. So that means if you are an organization that assists with cleaning up credit, I want to hear from you. If you're an organization that assists with mental health care, I want to hear from you. Mentoring kids, we want to hear from you, especially if you're doing anything in the community for combating homelessness. This is a event to raise money to assist people for solutions. It's a way to raise money and to cut out a lot of red tape. This is a fundraiser to give back. And then with some of the money, we want to take that money and put it toward doing more events. So we have the money to put and lock down those venues. If you have a creative idea for an event, let's talk. Let's partner up. Because this comedy festival is just one of many ideas that I want to utilize, not just our venues here in St. Louis. That's why I'm building these partnerships across the country and collaborations across the country, because they are in cities that they know about with venues that we can utilize for unique events, right? So don't be scared to go big, especially if you are someone that's in promotions. Don't be scared to go big.
So let me ask you this question. So what is your proposed date for the event?
My proposed date is, the targeted date is the 13th through the 17th for the preliminary rounds, the 20th through the 24th for the semifinal rounds.
Of what month?
And then that next
month and what year? They don't know what month. The 13th to the 17th.
Oh, I thought I said June. June 13th through the 17th, preliminary rounds.
Of 2000.
The 20th through the 22. Yes, for this year. For this year. And then we have the 20th through the 24th of June. And if you recognize those dates, that's the week before Juneteenth celebration and the week after Juneteenth celebration. And then that next week will be a week that will be set up for anyone who's interested in bringing a workshop or training session class to the event. So we'll have a whole week that we can use those dates leading up to the 4th of July weekend, which would be the final event, which includes a finals for the comedy competition, which is $100,000 in cash and prizes that we're seeking for the contestants, vendor spaces, between 300 to 400 vendor spaces.
Okay.
And then the grand finale.
Let's talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's first talk about $100,000. You have some sponsors that have already expressed interest, and you have some people.
Yeah, we have a little.
Hold on. You
Mm-hmm.
have some sponsors and you have some people that have expressed interest that are actually in communication with you about this. Who are some of those people?
Yeah, we have one of my dearest friend and business partner. His name is Eric Shelton. Because we are looking to do a tribute to my mentor, Dick Gregory, and a mentor to a lot of others in the comedy industry. We're looking to do a tribute to Dick Gregory. So Eric Shelton is the artist who's going to be presenting artwork. So of our winning contestants will get beautiful artwork. So I can't really say the value, but I know the pieces that he's preparing to do is going to be like, some thousands of dollars.
Okay.
So I have another young lady who is doing fundraising for me right now. She owns a bakery at the St. Louis Galleria called Cake Snobs. She's doing raffles for those who are getting married toward the end of the year. If you visit her cake shop, you can enter into the raffle to win a $500 wedding cake.
Now you're in communication with the city. You're in communication with the mayor.
Yeah, I'm back and forth with the city. I'm trying to get meetings in with the city. They recognize the fact that I am trying to pitch this idea to them. Matter of fact, I was going to send an email yesterday. I'm going to send another email today. I also have a poll to get the community interested in giving their 2 cents or whatever they want to say about the whole plan. I have a petition on the website that you can go and read the petition on change.org. I submitted that petition on change.org because I feel that the city should get behind this idea.
So the mayor's office is in communication with you right now, correct?
Yeah, they're wanting to know more information. I've had phone calls, talked back and forth with Miss Kathy down there. She's waiting on more information from me, so I'm trying to provide as much information as I possibly can. And then I also am seeking out to Amazon, so I'm reaching out to them as well. Okay. So hopefully we can get Amazon on board as a sponsor. Okay, I'm just saying, I'm reaching out to them.
I got you. And you are doing a tribute. Yeah. You're doing a tribute for Dick Gregory, and you're one of your mentors closely that I met when I came there with you is his brother.
Yes.
So Dick Gregory's brother is on board.
Oh yes. That's my other mentor, Dr. Ron Gregory. He's one of my other mentors. Oh yes. And definitely got to keep him in the loop.
Okay. And now as far as, and I know because you have so much going on, because you have so much patches, so that's why I'm trying to keep you right there, keep you in line. So you also have been contacted by the person who put together Who Got Jokes. Yeah.
Mr. Roy Anthony. I was on a interview with him yesterday, and he expressed his support and his involvement with the event. What he simply did, what I asked many of the comedians to do, just go to the website and express your interest. Let it be an interest, show your interest, and you never know what it's going to lead to.
So right
because
now,
if you haven't.
On that note, type in the website right now, please, so I can pin it. Type in the website so I can pin it. So what she just said is, if you are a comedian, or if you are an entertainer, or if you are somebody who could do a workshop, this is going to be a large event that's going to take place in St. Louis, June 13th to 17th, 2022. And it's also going to be an event on the 20th to the 24th in June. Now, she also mentioned that leading up to this, there's going to be some opportunities in your local cities and states where you could do some things. So she wants you to go to this website that I just pinned down here. Go to the website that we pinned. Again, if you go to the website and you're just coming in, if you want to get involved with the End Homelessness mission, the actual movement that Miss Woodland is getting together for this year, and she's been working on it for over 10 years, please go to the website and express an interest, and then have a conversation with her how you can get involved. Okay, we can't do everything on this live. We just want you to know that if you are passionate about homelessness and you have any way that you can get involved, that you can definitely reach out to her. You can share this video with others that you know are working with the topic of homelessness, or anyone who you know is a comedian, or anyone you know who does events, or in any way is looking for a good cause to sponsor. Okay, so
Yeah.
now, Ms.
Bring your cause. Bring your cause to the table, because every show we're looking to give to a specific cause. So every show will be designated to a beneficiary of that event.
Wow.
So in other words, show one, we have a young lady by the name of Angel Peoples. Her organization is called We Shine Foundation. She deals with the youth. So she's one of the organizations. I just got off the phone yesterday with another organization that's interested in coming on board. I just started a partnership with a small nonprofit here for animals called Stray Rescue. I did the same thing for Stray Rescue as I did for you, Crystal, and many of the others. I made them some magnets and buttons and things like that, and they're collecting donations with those items. So you can use what you have, the experiences, your knowledge, your skills, to be a part of something. You just have to know how to utilize what you have to be a part of something. And not very many people offer an open opportunity like this. Most people keep it to themselves. They'll keep it to themselves. They'll have selected people. This is an opportunity for those who see it as an opportunity.
Yeah. And
you have to have that. You have to have that open-mindedness, because I went through a lot just to be able to get approval to rent that building, to rent the convention center and the dome.
Let's talk about
when you don't have the speed.
Let's talk about the size of the dome and what it holds. Let's talk about that. They don't realize the vision, how big it is. What you have approval for this venue. That's a stadium. Right. That's a football stadium. Am I correct?
Stadium.
So they don't understand how big the vision is. She has rented a stadium, guys. So
well, I have the approval. I have the approval. As soon as we walk through the door with that down payment money, it's a wrap. Because what they're going to do is start selling those tickets for the Guinness event. We're going to give Guinness their the money that they want to be officially involved. Once we give Guinness that money, they're going to send out press releases all around the world. So you're going to hear about it. That's what me and my team is working on right now. I have a team in New York and California. They're mostly working on getting the main funding. Well, I do the little bit of stuff because I did majority of everything right now. So it's all about getting the approval. We have the venues for the preliminary rounds. We have the venue for the semifinal rounds. I even have backup venues.
Yeah. So now let me ask you.
I have backup venues.
We are also looking at hotels for people to come in so that they'll be able to stay there.
Yes.
We also have another local venue that is also helping you to do some of the other events. But let's go back to the
That's one of my sponsors. That's one of my sponsors. Let me shout her out. Real World Banquet Hall is one of our sponsors. That's the location where we're having the search for the 2 funniest comedians for the state of Missouri. So if you're in my state and you're interested in being on this this competition, just go to the website, check out one of the dates that you would like to come to St. Louis. If you're not in St. Louis or surrounding city, county, or whatever, then look at the dates that are open. We're going to do it every Thursday night starting March 3rd.
So now,
every Thursday night starting March 3rd.
And people can do this in their cities if they want, correct? Because let's talk about that. You want a representative from every state. Am I correct? Talk about that part.
Correct. I would love to have at least one promoter to organize their own little mini comedy competition to collaborate with me. That way, if we have at least 3, 4, 5 different promoters across the country doing the same thing around the same time, that's going to strike a lot of interest. But my goal is to have all 50 states with a promoter in each state, at least 2 by next year, collaborating. That's my limit. 2 promoters per state. And that's going to set us up for a different Guinness World Record attempt, which I've already got approval for that too through Guinness. So I submitted all of that in 2015. The first application was submitted and proposal was submitted in 2014. A lot of people don't know you have to go through that process to get the approval from Guinness to even begin promoting, because they know it takes a long time to break a Guinness World Record. You have to get that approval ID number. You have to get that approval membership number to even go out and to pursue a Guinness World Record. And that takes a while.
Okay.
So I'm years ahead.
So you're breaking up again. I want you to know that you're breaking up again. So
okay.
I thank you for sharing that, because so that's two different things, guys. So this year, she told you about the event this year taking place in St. Louis from June 13th to the 17th in St. Louis. The website is right there pinned. If you come back and you play this back, this is about the End Homelessness Mission Movement. This is about the first event. You're listening to the founder of this movement, Miss Marcel Woodland. Some people know her as motivational comedian Marcel Woodland. Some people know her as comedian Miss Woody. You may know her story. She has a video out there about what's the video about going postal? What was that video?
Oh, it's my story that I turned into with the help of a filmmaker and another wonderful lady who helped me turn my story into an audio piece and a short film documentary called The Day I Almost Went Postal.
Yes.
The title may be a little funny, but the story is very serious. It's what, basically got me to where I am today. I'm thankful to be here. I'm thankful to be alive. I'm glad I didn't go that route. But that story is being turned into a stage play. I wrote it as a stage play. And matter of fact, one of the people that's also a part of my team for that project, she may be still on here. She's going to be assisting me and helping me with writing. She's a professional writer. So it's being written also as a comedy movie called Certified Crazy.
So can you write the name of that video on there if they want to search it in YouTube? It's The Day She Almost Went Postal. The Day
I Almost Went Postal is on YouTube. I'm the only one on YouTube with that exact title. It's on the channel of my page under Marcel Woodland, and it's also on the filmmaker's page on his YouTube channel, I should say, channel. The Day I Almost Went Postal. But here, I'm going to give you this. This is my website that I put all of the projects of my writing projects on, called Certified Crazy. They're my Certified Crazy stories. Let me see if it'll pop up.
Yeah, put it on there, pin it so the people can come back and see it, because this is important. See, what she's telling you is she nearly got that close to getting certified crazy. She nearly got that close.
Right.
In her mind. So she made it into a comedy, and she went back to comedy because somebody knew her and somebody saw her and somebody saw her pain after she went through what she went through and reminded her that she was a comedian and said, hey, that is your outlet. Use your comedy.
Right.
From that, she created this event. So on that note, I want to say to anybody who's watching this, if you're going through something in your life, it may not be homelessness. It may be something else. And you have an outlet that maybe you forgot about. Go back to whatever your gift is and find a way to get your peace back. Find a way to get your mental stability back. Find a way to get your happiness back and get your drive back. And if you have to turn that into a movement of some sort, do it. But please let this motivate you, that you don't have to let it put you in a depressed state of mind, and you don't have to give up. That's what we want you to know. You don't have to give up. You can get through it, and you can find a way to help others. And that's what we want. That's why we're letting people tell their stories, guys, so that somebody else can be saved. Somebody else can be inspired from her story. Okay? So Marcel, I wanna ask you this: is the young lady still here, the one that's helping you with the film? Scroll through and see if you see her.
Gigi, is Gigi still on here?
If she's still here, let me know.
Her name Gigi. It's quite a few people on here. I didn't even know this many people was on here.
Okay.
But her name is Gigi.
So if any one of them is one that you want to invite to come in, tell them they're welcome to come in and speak about it. If you've been working with Marcel and you know the passion she's had with this, if you have met her, if you have seen her, if you have been on a Zoom with her, if you have contacted her and you are for this movement, you are welcome to come in and join this conversation. We want people to know that it's just not something that she's thinking about. She's working with quite a few people. I know that you've spoken to several different comedians. If you're able to, I would love for you to mention some of them that have contacted you about this so people know there are some comedians on board. And we want you to come on board. If you're a comedian, if you're an entertainer, if you're a singer, come on board. Because it's enough room for everybody to make an impact against homelessness.
Right. Even if you want to join the committee, we can use the help with planning. We can use the help with, a lot of the stuff I've done on my own. I'm not a professional web developer, but my consultant said, hey, you got to get the information out there somewhere, get started. So I had to learn. I had to learn how to do graphic designing and all that type of stuff. So I'm looking for more professional people who are in those areas, have that area of expertise. Join the committee, because we're working together to come up with all the funds that's needed to pull this off. The biggest challenge was getting the approval and asking venue owners to give their space.
Right. And you got it.
Okay. And I got it. And I got it.
And
so
and the promoters that contact you, if they have a vision, they can potentially lock in their state if they have a venue in their state, and then they can really jump on board for the bigger picture for next year for what you want to do.
Yeah.
So that would be exciting as well. So
next year is gonna really be we pull it off this year. When we pull it off this year, we going right into planning for next year. And that event can be $1 million comedy competition. Just imagine those of you who may be on this line, or you may know somebody who competed in the America's Got Talent, competed in any other comedy competition show that was on national television, who competed in like a singing competition show, a dance competition show. We can be that too. And they started in the same way. I remember listening to the guy that hosted America's Got Talent, and they started in a hotel. Guess what? That's why I started this comedy competition back in 2010 was my first attempt at getting this to this level. Of course, I had my hiccups, my ups and downs. I had issues I had to deal with, but everyone has issues.
Right.
But you work through them. If you are a determined person, you work through that.
Yes.
You don't give up.
Yes.
And that's one of my hashtags. Never give up on your dream, no matter what. Yes. Never give up on your dream, no matter what. You're going to have naysayers. You're going to have haters. That's fine. Because a lot of those same people could turn around and be your investors.
That's right. So,
okay.
Yes. And so you need some designing websites and doing some things. You've done an amazing job. If you go to that website, any of these websites out here, I want you to know she did all this. If you go to that website, I see my daughter just jump on. Hey, Connie, how you doing? Share this. If you have gone to any of her websites, that's something she's done herself. So she has not given up. She put all her heart, mind, and soul into this. So if you know somebody, if you have been in your city and you have seen somebody holding up a sign, then you know homelessness is real. And in many cities right now, they're on every other block. If you have a place and you know people are living in tents, then you know homelessness is real. If you have seen somebody come into a store next to you and they don't look that groomed, they look like they smell, then you know homelessness is real. If you have parked your car and gone into a gas station or a store, and you have seen somebody and you look in their car and it looks like their whole house is in their car, then you know homelessness is real. There are people that you work with. Hear this. There are people you work with that look like I do. They may have the jewelry. They may be all touched up. Their hair is done. They are homeless guys. They either went back to a hotel. They either went back to a tent. They either went back to sleep in their car. but you have no clue they are homeless. So homeless is happening not just to the people who have made some mistakes, had some hiccups, had some addictions. Homelessness is happening to the hard-working people who are going to work every day, have a bank account, have everything.
Yes.
So don't
Yes.
judge nobody, because you never know. You could be one paycheck away from being homeless. So I just want to say,
Well, let me add this.
No.
I want to add this, Crystal. I want to add this. Okay, I don't know if your city has done this, but I'm sure they probably have. They've taken millions of dollars just to count the number of homeless people, spending $1 million or $2 million to count homeless people.
Wow.
And that same money can be invested into bringing more people out of homeless situations. For whatever reason they have to do that, they have to do it for government numbers or whatever, right? But do you know majority of the people are go uncounted because they're living with relatives?
Oh, wow. So wow. So you really are homeless if you're staying with your sister or you're staying with your auntie.
Yes.
You don't have something with your name on there.
Yes.
Technically, you're homeless.
Yes.
Because you don't
right.
have your own. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. That's
wow.
been my situation. Has been my situation for many years. But you have to look at this. Some people think homelessness is just a situation, but it's really a mindset, right? You have people who are out there maybe in a situation of homelessness or almost homelessness because they are a determined person to change their situation. That doesn't take away the fact that they are still a homeless person, but they are a person who's determined to change their situation. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to do this event, because I wanted to make investments into those who are trying to live a better life. So the End Homeless mission is not about feeding and clothing. It's about positioning people to get in a better financial position to help themselves.
So let me.
So this is just a.
Let me ask you. I just lost my train of thought. My question was going to be that do you realize that there are people who choose to stay homeless? Like we know, I mean, you and I know,
yeah.
I'm just wondering to the listeners, do y'all realize that there are people who choose to stay homeless? Like, in other words, they have options. They have saved their money up. But for some people they don't want to go back to whatever it is they have. They have a roof, they have a choice, they have a home, they have a family. But because maybe they're being abused, maybe there's some things going on and they don't feel comfortable, so they choose to be homeless because they don't want to go back into that situation. So again, there's so many people that are homeless for different reasons. So when you think about this event and you think about whether or not you want to be a part of it, just think about people you know in your family. Think about friends you know. And the next time you go down the street and you see somebody with that cup in the median of the road, say, man, you know what? Maybe I can be a part of that movement. You know, if you're an administrative person, if you're just a resourceful person, maybe you can't do it, but you know somebody else. Share this video to them because you know they're talented, or you know they are active in their community, or you know that there's somebody who likes and they give and they can be a sponsor. There's many ways you can be involved here. It don't mean that you have to get up on stage and tell a joke. So I just want to put that out there to let people know that come back and do the replay, that participation can happen on many levels. Okay. So Marcel, what next? Where are you right now with the planning?
Right now, I'm trying to reach more sponsors. I've been posting in groups, business groups. It can be small sponsorship packages. I'm going to recreate the small business package. We're working on getting the host hotel finalized so we can get that information on the website. I've been talking back and forth with someone that is wanting to take over the website so it can be more professional. So the website right now is more for information.
Right.
So you go in and you look at, oh, this is not a professional website. You know, we don't have time for that. We're looking for people who want to step up and do. Action takers. We need action takers. So the funding, as we get more funding in, we can pay someone to do that. But who you think we want to pay first? We want to pay our committee people. The committee people are the ones that get paid for all of the work. We're the ones doing all the work, right? So we're looking for more people who want to step up, because as we get more influencers, we have a lot of top comedians interested in this. But we know they don't have time to help plan and all of that. They may have TV deals going on and other big events that they're being booked to do. But we know they are interested.
So can you name some of those people who are interested?
I can name quite a few people who have shown interest and said they're interested. You know, we got some that are on the website right now that submitted their information. Miss Comedian, Miss Arkansas, my girl, she's out of Las Vegas. She used to stay here here for a little while in St. Louis, spent a lot of time in California. I got, like I said, Roy Anthony. He showed interest in hosting. We got my buddy who's also coming on board as a sponsor. He is also a chef. And that's comedian Eric Sabine. He used to live in Philly, but now he's in North Carolina. He does a lot of posting on Instagram for his business called Krabby Wings. I just made some promotional stuff for him and sent it to him. So he's on board. We got another comedian by the name of Big Ed. He submitted his information. We also have some local entertainment from St. Louis that's interested in doing some poetry, singers. I have quite a few other people who said they're interested, but if you don't fill out that website, contact us form, I can't really say you really interested.
Gotcha.
But there are a lot of people who have expressed the interest verbally, but once you submit your information and you allow me to put your information on the website, then I post it. I can't forget to shout out my girl. She's a journalist. She's been interviewing so many people for many, many years. My girl Mika, she's the founder of Slapstick Comedy. She's doing some promotions for us. Slapstick Comedy.
Is she here today?
I can't really see who's here, because I know there were quite a few people that popped in. I see a lot of folks popped in, but I can't really see who they are. But I can say there are comedians stepping up. There's so many people. I can't even really name everyone. You can go to the website, do a little peeking around, check out the committee page. I have a few people who are doing a little something here and there, helping spread the word. But we have to get in broadcast. We need to get some broadcast media. We need to get some major promotion going on. We really need people to step up with help planning. Because I've been spreading the word for over 10 years. So I've done a lot of that on my own. So we know there are a lot of people who know about it, but now we need the people to go on and step up and get in a position to actually get everything done to full circle.
Well, we want to thank you so much for coming through and just sharing the information. And we will do some periodic updates on a regular basis to let people know. And once you start getting those big names that I know that you have said to me that are in here, they may not have, you know what it is? I think that because they already have arrived and because they already are named, they feel like they don't need to submit it. But you probably have to reach out to their office and let them know, hey, look, in order for me to just put this on here, I need you to submit this paperwork and just go back. But well,
I only put on the website interested. And if you're a committee person, I put you on the committee page. You have to let me know you're fully interested, because we already know what's going to happen once everything is locked in. It's going to be hard to reach me then. You might be talking to an assistant by that point. So it'll be too hard to reach me then. But for right now, everyone who's on board, who's doing their part, the ones that are going hard to get all of the funding, they're very busy. They're very busy. Yeah. They're the ones that setting up the meetings. And then I'm doing my part to set up meetings on my end. But just imagine if we had 100 or 200 very small businesses to put up anywhere between $100 to $1,000.
That's right. From
little small businesses.
And it's like she said, guys, if you have a small business, She is going to, we got somebody that said, we're sharing, we're here with you. You know, who is that? That young lady that just said that she's here with you and she's for you. I think her name is Queen something. I would love to invite her to come on in just to show. I just invited you, Queen. She put a post in there.
Is that Gigi?
Looks like her name is Gigi. I just pinned it. That's her.
Yeah, bring Gigi in because Gigi is helping me with writing. That's why I was trying to tell the comedians that once the comedy festival is over, we're getting we're going right into getting everything ready for the movie scripts so that they can be a part of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Gigi,
so there's going to be an opportunity for them to get into a stage play that I've written. Gigi's helping me with writing for the movie scripts. So we got to finish one thing so we can go into the other, and this event will help fund those projects.
Well, Miss Gigi, come on in. I just sent you an invite. Come on in and talk for a quick minute.
Yeah, she does a lot of interviews on Instagram too.
Yes, I would love for you to share and join the stage with comedian Woody and talk about what you.
Hey, Miss Gigi.
From the writing.
She's one of my supporting sponsors too.
Excellent. Excellent. So, Miss Gigi, thank you so much. Welcome for coming in. I appreciate you. I understand you're a journalist. Tell the people who you are and what you do and why you decided to support comedian Woody.
Well, my name is Queen Gigi. I have a live show here right on Instagram called The Artist Law, and I interview people from all walks of life. And Miss Woody was actually one of my interviewers. And I believe in Miss Woody and her cause because of the fact that her heart extends far, far more than the universe you can ever imagine.
Thank you.
Her compassion for what she's doing is just all over the world. People are loving her. People are loving what she's doing. And I really appreciate her for stepping in to make something happen because we have homeless people everywhere. And like you said, there are some people who choose to be homeless because of the fact they don't want to go back to the rat race. You know, they don't want to get into that. Miss Woody is awesome. You guys, y'all support her.
Thank you.
So let me ask you this. So what is your role? She said you're doing some writing. You're taking her the day I almost went Postal and going to help that to go to a film. Is you the young lady that's helping her with that process?
That's the stage play. The movie script, Certified Crazy. So she's going to be helping and assisting me with writing. So once everything starts coming together for the comedy festival, these are the people that's going to be paid for their services. So she's a professional writer. Let them know what you've written. You let them know your background, Miss Gigi.
It's about you, my queen. It's about you, my queen. But anyway, right now I'm writing a script for Open Gate Fans, something that I wrote called October's Eyes. It's about abuse and molestation of children, men and women.
I can't hear you. You're breaking up. You're not coming through right now.
Excuse my opinion.
Oh, you're fine. But I couldn't hear you. Can you repeat that? Can you repeat
right now, I'm in the process of writing a script for Open Gate Films. And I'm in the process of writing this because it's about a dysfunctional family, about children who are being abused in their homes by, adults, stepfathers, non-stepfathers, people in their families. And I think it needs to be heard because so many people are out there just don't want to say, don't want to tell about what's happening with them. And it's just very important for the children of today because so many of them go unheard and they go in life and they become adults and they're still stressed out for these things that happen to them. So, having a personal molestation of a child, just looking at the child being stressed out and they can't function and they're looking at other children, they need somewhere to go. Someone needs to see that this really happens and it's still happening. It doesn't matter what color your family is, it still happens and our kids need to be protected. That's why I wrote the script.
Well, I would love to have
and situations like that leads to homelessness too. You have a lot of people that are out there because of their past. They can't deal with their past.
That's right.
And that's why mental health is so needed. And we need to collaborate and partner with those who deal with mental health.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And Miss Gigi, I would love to get with you at a later time and have you come back as a guest for us to talk about that. And just talk about, I support you. It's not a competition. I heard you say you do interviews. So just because I do interviews and you do interviews don't mean we got to hate on each other. We can work together because we have different visions. And both of us are out here to help other people get their stories told. That's the whole purpose of it. And so we're just utilizing the gift that God gave us to be a catalyst for that and allow people to use their voice. So I thank you so much. And I thank you for telling people to support her, because I've been watching her for over 10 years. She's been going at it, man, strong. I don't know how long you've been watching her, but I went and met her personally because that's how much she impacted me. It was like, I was like, I got to meet this woman. I said, I'm flying out to St. Louis. And so she took me to the Dome. She took me through the city to see the homelessness, and she showed me all this stuff. And so, and we went to the mayor's office. So I am literally on board because I saw it for myself, you know, and we see it every day in our own cities. We see it, you know. So, if somebody wanted to contact you for writing, are you available for other people to turn their stuff into scripts or stuff like that? Just tell us that for a quick moment.
That's part of my expertise. Yes, ma'am, I am. You can what is it? What do you call it when you hit someone on Instagram?
DM you.
Yeah, you can do that. And,
yes.
And I'll get back with you. I'll give you my address, my email address rather. And I can get back with that. Get back with people who really want something that are serious, because we play. But on another note, can I give Miss Woody a shout out?
You give her a shout out and follow me if you haven't already done it, Miss Gigi, because I would love to talk to you about those two things. Follow me.
Okay.
And yes, shout out. Okay. This is her time to shine because she.
Okay, you guys go to Miss Woody's webpage. What is your webpage, Miss Woody?
It's for the event. It is showmefunny.com.
Okay.
Showmefunny.com. And the mission is endhomelessmission.org. It's a movement. It's not a nonprofit organization at this time, but this is a movement. So if you want to move, you want to help move this movement, move.
Move it. Come on, people. Get your buttons, get your stickers, get everything. Miss Woody is very talented. She's very talented. She has stickers and buttons. I have mine too.
Hey, what's going on, Miss Crystal? How you doing?
Hello.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I brought this young man in here because he's doing some amazing things. He could potentially be a workshop person for you. He helps a lot of people who probably have dealt with some of the conversations that you said. Miss Gigi, I thank you so much for popping in. If you want to drop off, you can. If you want to stay, you can. But
how do I pop off?
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I definitely want to let Joseph speak because of what he stands for, because I think that he's doing some amazing things too, and it could all tie in. And you want to say something, Miss Gigi?
I just said, how do I pop off? And you guys, woof, woof, woof. Miss Woody, come on.
I'll take you off. Thank you so much for coming.
Bye, Gigi.
All right. Mr. Joe, introduce yourself to Miss Gigi. You heard what she's talking about. I thought that you would be a great person that could come and sit up a little bit so they can see who you are, come up a little higher, and tell her about what you stand for, and if you think that this is something that you might be interested in working with.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Gigi. Thank you so much, Miss Crystal and Gigi. Well, I'm Joe, by the way. Everybody calls me Purpose. And I want to say I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
You know, I don't want to take up too much of your time because I was just listening. But I love what you're doing. I love everything you're about, and especially with the mental health thing. I myself am a veteran, and I know very well what homelessness can do to veterans, right? And it's very big to me, and I appreciate what you're doing, because a lot of homelessness can be prevented.
Right.
A lot of things that if we could just have someone that can support them. They're human beings.
Right.
They're human beings, and they don't get a lot of support. Yeah. We just overlook them. You know, I'm in the D.C., Maryland, DMV area.
Oh,
we have a homeless problem.
Right. And so, what's crazy is a lot of these cities, that's why I'm utilizing the venue space. I'm comedian Miss Woody, by the way. Miss Gigi just left. She's one of the people that's helping me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Woody. I apologize.
That's all right. She's one of the people helping me with the writing projects that's going to follow the comedy festival. So my goal is to keep doing projects that's going to raise money in the millions to continuously make investments back to the people. That's my main reason for doing this. Doing these investments that's not going to take a bunch of applications to fill out to get the help, red tape. We trying to cut all of that out. we tired of the red tape. But like I was saying, we're looking for people who want to get on board. You bring whatever you do, your expertise, your vision to the table, because this is just a comedy festival. This is just one event. You know, there's so many other things that we can do, and we need to start utilizing these venues in our cities that we can do fundraising for community, right? That's why I chose to go this route, because St. Louis just got awarded, $790 million because the Rams left. They got awarded that money because the taxpayers voted to build that building with the taxpayers' money, and they spent all of the years maintaining the building, and we didn't have very many events in the building. So that was a lot of tax dollars that went into those buildings. So I wasn't mad about it. I said, hey, let's get down there and utilize them, because we have major promotional companies like Live Nation. They'll come to your city, set up an event. People will go and buy the tickets, and then guess what they're doing? They're taking that revenue right up out of that city. So if you are in your city and you know some promoters, you know, I'm sure you know quite a few small time promoters. Those small time promoters can do something on a big scale. They just have to have somebody willing to write those proposals, get those sponsorships, and use that money to pull off the event.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's what I'm doing.
Like I said, I appreciate everything. I appreciate everything you're doing.
Thank you.
I think that this is something that it's being ignored. I think that we ignore the homeless people.
Yeah.
And people who and forget that they're human beings. And it's easy for us to ride past them, you know, have the narrative that they're scamming, have the narrative that they are mentally ill, have the narrative or whatever, but that's someone's child right there, man.
Right.
That's he didn't ask to be born, you know, and he may have hit a hard time in their life, and we make fun of them, and we do, you know, we say things, or we think that they are just out there, you know, scamming people and on the bad, and they just may have a bad break in life. We all have it.
Yeah, we can talk about this topic in so many ways, because I've actually gone out there and stood on corners, the same corners that a lot of people who go out and collect donations. I've got out there and got in the mix and started conversations with them, right?
Yeah.
And many of them are screaming for the help that they need, and most of them only get, I just call it pacifying. You know, they get pacified, or they're given crumbs, and they're hungry for help. But it's not set up, because we don't have enough people doing partnerships for change. One person can need the help from 5 different organizations doing 5 different things. So if you are, for example, if you are a man out there, you dealing with homelessness, you've been incarcerated, you come back, you got child support issues, you got mental health issues, your credit is bad, you can't move into a house because you're not making enough money. So we can go down that list in 10, 20 different categories. That's why I'm doing this event. That's why I'm begging for my comedian friends to do stand up for a cause. Stand up for change. We need to help and heal through laughter.
That's big. That's big. That, you know, and I hope that they are hearing the appeal that she's making to them, because it's so necessary. And I brought this in him because he said that they feed and clothe the homeless, and so I can.
It's a lot of organizations feeding and clothing. That's another reason why I'm doing it. We need to make investments into people. We need to do more investments into the people. We have thousands and thousands of organizations, and God bless them for what they do. But now it's more the solution. We need a solution. We need multiple solutions coming together.
So now hold on. I want this young man to introduce himself because he said that they do think they work with the homeless, and this is why I brought him to the forefront, because I want people to know about each other. It's about us collaborating and supporting one another and acknowledging one another. So I thank you for your comment, young man. Let them know what you do and introduce yourself, please, where you are.
Hey, Miss Crystal, I'm going to go back
Okay.
out. I'm going to drop back out. But thank y'all so
I
much.
thank you so
All
much.
right.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Yes, sir. You have the floor.
Yeah, my name is Samson King. So my son and I, my son is now 11, but ever since he was 6, he and I go out every 90 days to clothe, feed, interact, and talk to homeless people.
Okay.
Prior to COVID, we also would have days where we would go out and just pass out hugs.
There you go.
So
I love it.
when you were speaking, I felt it in my spirit. When you were speaking, I felt it in my spirit. There are times where I will go on my lunch break and just spend 10 or 15 minutes listening. And it seems like they want to be heard just as much as they want to be fed.
Right.
And people are only, like you said, touching on the food part. So to the brother that was in the DMV, if you know of places where you're consistently seeing homeless people, drop me that location. I'll send you invites to meet me out there. I feel like that's one of my missions in life, because I'm doing pretty well for myself, to turn around and give back. And I'm raising children who turn around and give back. My 11-year-old this year is starting his own nonprofit called Chefway, where he caters to people's needs. And the chef is not just catering through food, it's catering through what do you actually need. Some people really do need that hug. They really just need somebody to sit down and hear them out. They've gotten to the point where they feel like invisible humans. And we just have to let them know that they're seen. And it means so much to me to lend a hand in any way that I can. So I don't really care what state or city you're in. If you're doing something for the homeless and you want to tap in and reach out, I'm somebody who wants to be a part of whatever that you've got going on for the homeless. I don't care if we put on performances that are geared towards them, you know, like where we bring out people who paint and people who draw, and we bring out barbers that groom them and things of that nature. Anything that we can do to uplift the center of these people, to get to remind them that that their souls matter, is something that I'd be more than happy to be a part of, because I know that they matter.
But that would definitely be something that anyone would, if it's even if it's you or someone else, because once we pull off this event, we're going to have a huge convention center with 80,000 square feet of space, so people can bring their ideas. You can bring the idea of bringing something to the event. That's why I said we're going to be doing workshops. The door is open for anyone who want to contact me and say, hey, I would like to bring my workshop to your event. I would like to bring my training session to your event. There was a lady yesterday that you were talking to who does insurance. Think about all the people who are not insured that may have an opportunity to connect with that business to get insured. So this is a huge opportunity for those who see it as an opportunity. I've done the work, so we're ready.
As I said, please get in touch with me. I'm willing to send hairstylists, barbers, makeup artists. I'm willing to send them to your event. Even if they don't want to do it for free, I'm willing to pay them myself.
Well, let me tell you what she put my websites down there. You can hit the thing at the top and connect with me. I am under Marcel Woodland, comedian Miss Woody. I have several pages over here on Instagram and many pages on Facebook. I'm also on LinkedIn, Clubhouse. I'm in a lot of places, but I do most of my posting on Facebook. But I am looking for people who want to be a sponsor,
Yes.
because the more small sponsors we have, it will draw the attention of the major corporate sponsors. So we are
And what
definitely,
city are you doing this in?
I'm in St. Louis. I'm trying
Okay.
to take advantage of using the Dome Stadium where the Rams used to play. Because our city has been in the news a lot because of that fight against the NFL and the owner of the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
They won a $790 million agreement, right? Settlement. So I'm trying to get into the mayor's office to pitch the plan to them to see if maybe they'll put some of that money into the event, because this is going to be a community event in which we're going to be giving money back to the community through raffles and things like that. But go ahead, Crystal.
And you need to put the link to the poll you did, because you got over 300 names already to make.
Oh yeah, I started 2 petitions. Well, actually, I started more petitions than that, but my 2 current petitions on change.org, I put a petition that goes to the mayor office every time someone signs it, and leave a comment about the idea. It's on change.org. It's actually on the website. I'm gonna do some changing around on that website until I get to hire a professional person to take over the website, where a person can go right to click the poll if they want to sign the petition online. I also put a petition on there that goes to different media outlets like ABC, NBC, because I'm trying to get, interviews. I submitted to Nick Cannon's show, trying to get an interview on there. So I'm trying to get a broadcast media site, trying to get the attention of a major news outlet. I even submitted to our local news. So on those petitions, every time someone sign it, I'm going to go boost it in a minute, because I haven't had enough people to sign that petition yet. So these are the type of things that I do with the small donations that come in. I go and pay to, boost it on change.org so it'll reach more people. Yeah, she's showing you some of the products that I make. I have a business called Say It on a Button, which I make buttons, keychains, and magnets. So I make promotional stuff for those who are helping me just to promote their business and what they're doing. And I'm looking for nonprofits to partner with so that we can share some of the proceeds with that nonprofit. Now, if I find a nonprofit that is willing to do a partnership and be the fiduciary for the event, then that organization can go in and do the application. And then the cost of renting the convention center and the Dome will be much cheaper.
Right, and that's what we're working on. So we got you.
Yeah, so we trying to get an organization that has the ability to handle this type of funding. Because right now it's just a lot of small nonprofit organizations. I really want to connect with the smaller ones more so than the bigger ones, because the bigger organizations are already getting a lot of funding, and then they have a lot of overhead. So a lot of that money won't even go directly to the people.
Right.
When the bigger they are, the more money they have to use toward operational costs. Well, so that's one of the reasons why we're doing it in this way.
Yes, and I want to thank you, Samson, for coming in. Samson is an individual I met about a week or so ago on Instagram, and I can tell that he is a person that he's a person you might want to get involved with, because what Samson does,
please inbox me so I can get directly connected to you.
He gets the word out. He gets the word out about events. I mean, and he will travel and go different places. Samson, I actually met her in person. I went to St. Louis to see her.
Yeah, she flew here to meet me.
Yeah, I went out there to go see her. So we got that in common about getting up. I'll go out in a minute and go fly to somebody and see what's going on. I believe in that. I actually want to take you on the road. I'm going to start going to see some of these stories, not just hear them. But I'm glad that you popped in, because it's a great cause. She's been doing this for 10 years, man. She's been
over 10 years. I've been planning it out for over 10 years.
Well, I have been watching you for 10 years. So you might have been doing it longer, but I've been watching you for 10 years. So I know that she really believes in it. And to know that the mayor's office is finally responding and that we're getting meetings set up for it. It's a beautiful thing because it's really happening. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I just have to submit the email. I keep submitting these emails. They keep giving me the runaround. I keep coming back. I keep making my name. They know me when I call. Just put it like that.
You gotta do that.
Do you have any suggestions because of what you do and the way you get people? It seems as though you get people in places for stuff like this. Do you have any suggestions for her on how she might be able to get their attention a little bit more or get them to buy in more on that level?
Okay, so I would suggest trying to incorporate, if there are any smaller clubs, not just smaller clubs that have nothing to do with it, would still matter. Like, for example, you might get a teachers organization that wants to be a part of it. You get a teachers organization, you get your one of the local fraternal orders of police that have to do with retired police officers. You start getting the people that the government really pay attention to come voting time. You get those people involved in it, it'll all of a sudden matter.
Yeah.
So you get you a couple of retired police officers. You get you a couple unionized teachers groups. If there's a popular baseball club that might be in a majority affluent neighborhood, you start getting the people involved that the government typically cares about. And even though their intentions might not be more than trying to make sure that they get voted back in, you'll get the support. You know, like the government officials.
I would love for you. I would love for you to come on board as a committee person and handle that part.
I have no problems doing that. I try.
Well, we on the website, showmefunny.com. I have the committee page. Like I said, I'm gonna go in there today, change some things around. So as soon as you come to the website, it'll be a button for everything. So I'm because I've had people come to me and say, "Oh, the website." I was like, "Look, you want to come on board and handle this website? If you're a professional person, come on." Because I've done what I can, just to bring the attention to the mission. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I'm a comedian turned promoter, and going out to do this huge event that's going to be an annual event. I want people to know that this is going to be an annual event. And the goal is to collaborate with other comedy promoters across the country so that they're doing their own comedy competition or festival. And then they can choose to fundraise for whatever cause they want to in their own city. And they'll piggyback off of this event and make money. So, that's how I got it set up. But it's up to the individual to fill out the information and say what their interest is. If they're just interested in competing, or they're just interested in hosting, or being an entertainer, or bringing a workshop or a training session to the event. This is going to be a 3-week-long event. So you got to get in where you fit in.
And and she actually got approval with the Guinness Book of Records. She went to them and said her vision is, since she's a comedian, Sampson, she thought of what if all comedians came together for this cause of homelessness and brought their audience and brought their following and everybody. She wants to organize a competition in each state where the funniest comedian in each state come, and then they come next year to her dome. And she's already contacted the Guinness Book of Records.
Yeah, I got approved for 2 separate attempts. Submitted one application and proposal in 2014. I got it approved, and it falls under the category of mass participation. That's where we plan to do the Guinness World Record attempt to fill the dome to capacity, in which I would have to perform for an hour. A lot of people don't know my comedy, but I'm actually a prop comic. I started out when Cedric and all those guys got started, but I just didn't get popular because I worked and had a lot of kids. And then the next year, when I started visualizing how I did the event in 2010, I looked into Guinness to see if there was a category for collaboration of comedy competitions or festivals. They didn't have a category for that, so I created it, and they accepted my application, in my proposal in 2015. So that's why I offer the opportunity for those who are comedians that promote shows. They can organize their own event, which many of them already have done. They've been doing open mics and comedy shows for many years, but they never done it as a collaboration with others across the country. So I submitted everything in 20. It's my category. I created it. So
Okay.
I'm setting it.
Nice.
Yeah. But it's a trick to it. Nobody can, here's the thing. Nobody can go in there and actually take it because I already created it. I already presented it to Guinness in 2015. So I set it up so that we are the only ones can set it and break it year after year after year.
Wow. That was smart.
But like I said, I've been planning this for over 10 years, so I'm way ahead. And I just mainly been doing what I needed to do to get the word out, connect with one more person, one more person, one more person. So a lot of people thought I've just been doing all this stuff by myself. A lot of people didn't know about you, Crystal. A lot of people didn't know about Gigi. A lot of people don't know about a lot of the people across the country that are behind the scenes that are doing things. So it's all coming together. Now it's all about getting the funding. The venue wants $23,000 plus to lock in those dates. So most of my time was spent getting the other venues for the events leading up to it. So I got all of that squared away, and I got the approval back in November for the big venue, which is the convention center in the Dome. Now we're almost close to getting the rest of the down payment money in there.
So listen, and I want to say one of the things so Sampson knows. She actually has a video on YouTube called "The Day I Almost Went Postal," because all this happened because she lost her job at the post office. The way they fired her, it became a story. She became.
But they didn't fire me. They forced me into retirement.
Okay, so the way they did that and forced her into retirement, and then she wound up living in hotels, being homeless, lost her home. So this is where all this came from. Now, the young lady that just came off of here, she's helping her to make it into, it was written for a stage play. So it's so many things coming from this. And what I love about it is what I said earlier, to anyone watching this, if you've ever been through something, this should motivate you not to give up, not to give in, not to give out, to know that you can take your pain and turn it into purpose. You can take the pain and turn it into passion, and then help others, and together you can collaborate, and it could be a beautiful cause. So she's got some great things going on, Sampson. She really does. So I thank you for popping in on this and joining our live today.
Yeah, I posted my phone number. I posted my websites. It's really best to call me because I try to stay focused on getting this done. If that phone ring, I'm going to answer it. If I miss a call, I'm going to call that person back as soon as I possibly can. Don't wait until everything starts getting out there in the masses. By that time, it might be too late for you to get in because we may ever have everything all filled up.
Right.
So right now we seeking collaborators, we're seeking partners, investors, sponsors, people who want to be a part of the entertainment. So there's a place to get in. Get in now. Come on.
I know I can.
We're rolling.
Also willing to help you find it performers. So I'm pretty sure that there's a few topics that we'll be able to discuss.
Oh yes.
So we'll set it up. We're gonna bring this to a close. I want to thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
An hour and almost hour and a half. This has been really good. People can come back and play it later and see. Sampson, send me your number so we can talk, because I would love you to get on this committee with us.
I just typed it on the screen.
Okay. All right, great. Well, send it in my inbox, because until I upload this, I won't see that. You know.
Okay.
Let's talk because I know we need to get together. And Marcel Woodie, great job. I hope that many people will contact you after this live is posted. I know that you will post it many places. I know I will post it many places. And this is just the beginning. I'll see you in a couple of weeks for the event coming up in March, and I'm waiting to the latter part so to get warm. Last time I went there, I couldn't feel my
that's fine. I just talked to a nonprofit organization that want to be the beneficiary of the 31st. So that's going to be one of the clean comedy shows, because I'm doing a series of competitions starting March the 3rd through the 31st to find the funniest comedian. So we got to get people to sign up for that. I'm giving it a limit of 10 contestants. So if we have 2 or 3 people sign up, that's fine by me. Each week we're going to give away $150 and then donate some of that money raised from that event to an organization on that night. So whoever is the beneficiary of that night is going to get some of those funds. So leading into the bigger event will be more money that can be donated to a specific cause. So definitely try to get some people to get to the bigger event. That's where they get majority of the money that's donated. But you can't just come in and do nothing. You got to put in, you got to put up to be able to give back. So we can't just all of us do all of the work. You know what I mean? You got to be able to put in and help bring everything full circle.
All right. Well, I thank everybody who came in. Share this video, please. I'm going to reach out to you, Samson, after this live is over. I want y'all to please give a round of applause for Woody because she's been working hard. I mean, she had
Thank you.
talk about when the doors shut.
Thank you. Thank you.
Talk about going past the nose. I mean, she had looked past the nose and still kept going. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I salute you, sister. I look forward to seeing you
Thank
in a couple of weeks. And thank you, everybody who came through. I definitely do salute you. And Joe, thank you for coming in. Gigi, thank you for coming in. To everybody who had put the comments in here, we thank you. Follow us. We look forward. If you have a story of your own, DM me because we would love to help you tell your story. The whole purpose of it is to stir up the gift, instill hope, and save lives, and help everybody to just bring. We are each other's keepers. You understand what I'm saying? We are each other's keepers. So when we go through and we make it to the other side, we can pull somebody else with us and let them know how we did it. And now so they can stand up and not fall down. And that's the whole purpose of it all. So you guys have an amazing day. God bless you. Keep hope alive.
Thank you.
And I definitely want you to do that. Mr. Sampson, did you have any closing comments?
No, everything was well said. If anybody reaches out to me between now and 4 o'clock, I'm in meetings and boarding a flight, but after that, I'm available.
All right.
I definitely want to talk to you. I just want to part with hashtag stand up for change. That's where you can see a lot of my posts. It's a message, stand up for change. Hashtag never give up on your dream, no matter what.
So put that in the comments. Put that in the comments and we'll share the video. Y'all have an amazing afternoon. God bless you. Thank you for joining us today. Have a good day. Keep hope alive. Thank you, Miss Woody. All right.